Hello and welcome. Man, I hope I live up to that hype because that is some crazy mad hype. That is some mega crazy mad hype. Hello, Ninja Weasel, and everybody else out there in the audience. I hope you are having a great Wednesday. So, the reason I had to resort to just saying we're clickbaiting you in my title tonight is because I had no books this week. Out of all the comic books in all the comic book world, I had no books to buy this week, which that's really weird. That feels kind of wrong, but that's where we're at in our lives. Also, sorry I'm like 3 minutes late getting started here from my 9:10 start time. I was just finishing up watching WrestleMania from this weekend, and it was all right. Yep, there we go. It was all right. That's really all I got to say about that. Yeah, no books. This is all clickbait, no substance, Ninja Weasel. There is no meat on these bones. We are going to be looking at stuff, and bruh, I was watching WrestleMania. I just explained. I had to watch Stone Cold Steve Austin beat somebody up. Okay, what do you want from me? You know, what do you want from me? You're over here arguing with me, and you're like, "Oh, I don't even know that Stone Cold Steve Austin was wrestling this weekend." Yeah, he was. After 19 years of not breaking his neck, he got in the ring to go break his neck. It was great. It was awesome. You should have watched it. Oh man, good times. I'm just getting some stuff together, and then we'll start talking about thingamajigs. But yeah, the only books I got to read are the ones I bought last week, which I guess that's kind of okay because guess what? I still got to read them, so I can do reviews on them this week, maybe, hopefully. The weather's crazy. I don't know what. No, no, the neck remains unbroken. Thankfully, but he did whoop Kevin Owens, and then he took like a 10-minute victory tour of drinking beers all over the ring. It was pretty funny. It was definitely a pretty good time. Oh, hey, I just got an email from Twitch RPG wanting to give me 100 free bits for taking 5 minutes to fill out a survey. When thinking of casual dining restaurants and brands, which ones come to mind first? I don't know. What's casual dining? Is that like Applebee's? I'm going to put Applebee's. There we go. I don't even like Applebee's, but that seems like casual dining to me. Let's find out if I'm right. Hey, I was right. Let's see. Wingstop. Yeah, I've heard of Wingstop. Chili's, I heard of them. Applebee's and Buffalo. Oh, those are all casual dining? Okay. I mean, I've eaten at all of those at some point in my past life. Except maybe Wingstop. I don't think I've actually eaten at a Wingstop. Let's see. I have seen, yeah, I've seen all those. I've seen a Wingstop at an airport one time. How likely do you choose the following brand? Let's see. Applebee's, unlikely. Wingstop, I don't know. I guess we'll go somewhat likely for Buffalo Wild Wings. Why not? Sometimes they have some pretty good wings. How strongly you agree or disagree with each statement regarding Buffalo Wild Wings? Oh man, it's flavorful, dude. I like the really hot ones. So yeah, I guess we'll agree with that. It's fun. Fits well on Twitch. No, is original. I don't even know what that means, bro. That was it. Okay, survey's done. So I'm gonna get like 100 free bits. This is amazing. Dude, that is the only thing I'm really into at Chili's, man. Those Southwestern egg rolls. I don't know what they do, but those things are awesome. It's too bad they're more expensive than like an actual entree. Hey, I'm gonna pull something up here. Yeah, here we go. Let me pull this up. This is something I saw when I was at work and was checking my email during my lunch break. They certainly do. Oh my gosh, bruh, bruh. Most of their hotter sauces are great, but I also just really like their honey barbecue too. It's exactly what it says on the label, It's honey, it's barbecue. There's nothing special about it, but I kind of like it. Let's see. Here we go. This is the tab I want to show. Southwestern egg rolls and skillet queso. Hey, not bad. And I gotta admit, Ninja Weasel, and this may be controversial, but I kind of like the chili salsa. It's where it's like super vinegary. Like that's such a weird taste. Like my brain doesn't even register quite as salsa. It's just like this is vinegar chip dip, and I kind of like it for the same reasons I like salt and vinegar chips. It's just got more of a you know a little oomph to it. This is like thing number one. And I've got to find something on Twitter real quick here too. I don't remember who posted it, but somebody on Twitter was talking about their book being garbage, and I got to go find that real quick. So please bear with me. Oh, who was it that said that? I'll never find it again. Oh, it's X Men Red. Maybe I can search for X Men Red. This is a copy of X Men Red. Let me find that. It's got to be out here somewhere. Yeah, here we go. Oh, it was Doc. Okay, let me copy this link. There we go. And you know what? I'm going to take the invite link here. I'm going to go drop that on Discord, and if somebody wants to pop in, they can. But what is Rob? Oh, okay. You know, I should get him on here. Hey, want to come on stream and chat about writing stuff? Yeah, maybe he wants to come on. Let me mute my mic for just a second. All right. Anyway, this is like the main thing I wanted to talk about today because it is the most ridiculous thing that I can possibly talk about here. You know, now we've got our like 5 minutes of talking about casual dining restaurants, thanks to the Twitch survey. Let's get into this. So you might have remembered a couple weeks ago, I bought some Marvel book. I don't even remember what it was anymore. It wasn't Savage Avenger. What was the book I bought? Bruh, I don't even remember what it was. Which means it must not have been notable, or I haven't read it yet. Either way, I bought it and I spent like my entire review of that book talking about the garbage paper. Like it's absolutely completely ludicrous. The interior stock of the book is also the cover stock. Except I think somehow they've somehow found worse paper than they have ever used before. So like what it says here, due to Marvel changing to a more fragile cover stock, we cannot guarantee a specific condition on the copies we ship for the foreseeable future. Many, if not most, of all Marvels we've been receiving have mechanical printer damage. And yeah, I absolutely, completely believe it. It was Maestro. It was Maestro World War M. I got a review of that out there on YouTube. If you're interested, you should go check that out. I talk about the paper a little bit there. But yeah, I didn't feel comfortable holding the dang book in my hands because I'm holding the book, right? Oh, hold on. Let's share the camera. I probably got that book handy. Let's uh let's see here. See, there's House of Slaughter. Here it is, Maestro. So here it is, the book in question. There's no lighting. There's no lighting. We were not expecting to turn the camera on. So Maestro, this cover stock is the same paper as the interior stock. It's not a gloss, like it's not a bitter gloss paper. In fact, the paper in the interior, it's kind of glossy, but it's not coated. Like you touch this and you just kind of feel ink coming off on your hands. Like I feel my hands feel dirty now just from touching that for a few seconds right there. It's absolutely ludicrous the paper quality that they're trying to pass off as like professional paper. Like this is the kind of stuff that you would not expect a professional paper company, or professional publisher, I should say, to actually use. Maybe on the interiors of the book, like that's one thing. If your interior paper quality is lower, that's kind of expected. Like for the entire history of comic books, the paper quality on the inside has been less than the paper quality on the outside. Now, the first company to do this bad cover stock paper was Dark Horse, and I didn't buy any of the books involved, but they were the same way. They had this really flimsy, uncoated, wimpy paper on the outside, and then the same paper on the inside. It was absolutely, you know, pretty garbage. So here Westfield is saying, and I haven't been to Westfield, but I saw this in the email they sent me. I haven't been there in a while. I'm not buying enough comic books to really justify trying to split between two separate stores when, Sean at Graham Crackers just gets me what I need, gets me what I want. But yeah, they say mechanical printer damage. I don't believe that. I mean, I believe it to some extent, but I think there's also just a lot of, shipping damage hanging out. Oh, hey, we got Ethereal Dragon here. Hello, Ethereal Dragon. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm just ranting about the crappy paper of Marvel Comics lately.
Yeah. How long has it been crappy for? Like 5 years?
No, it's been okay. Like, it hasn't been like absolutely hot garbage. If I picked up an older issue of Maestro or anything from like 2 months ago or earlier, like you have a coated cover stock. It's not the best cover stock in the world. The title for best cover stock kind of goes to like Boom, man. They're printing these like books with cardboard covers that are amazing. But like it's pretty standard stuff. It's like the kind of cover stock you would have seen on the comic book like all the way back to the 80s. It's like glossy, feels like magazine paper, heavier stock than the interior. It's a little thicker paper. Feels good in your hands because it's nice and smooth with the glossiness. But the interior stock, yeah, I think the interior stock now is probably a little worse than it was a couple years ago. But the problem is the cover stock is the interior stock. So you pick this book up, like I got this copy of Maestro World War M #2 here. It's the only one I bought that's like this. And the paper just feels like the ink is coming off on your hands. You just feel it. My fingers feel like there's powder all over them. It's ludicrous.
Mm. Yeah, so Marvel quality keeps going down, but it seems like they keep raising as they raise the prices.
Well, when you're selling fewer and fewer books to fewer and fewer people, there's really only one way you can make that up, and that's by jacking the prices up. Which, of course, means you sell fewer books, so you jack the prices up again. But that they call
It's
that the
literally a
circle of
downward
life.
spiral.
Yeah. Let's. I'm gonna pull up Comicron here. Let's look at some sales figures. Pick a year in the '90s. What's your favorite year in the '90s?
When did Disney Gargoyles come out?
I have no idea. I guess let's see. Gargoyles. That I was living in what? They came out when I was like living in Hawaii, I think. So Gargoyles have been like 91, maybe 92, something like that.
Wait a minute, you were living in Hawaii when Gargoyles?
Yeah.
Oh, frick, we could have actually have seen each other then, depending upon the year.
Oh, I just looked it up. Gargoyles came out in 1994, according to Wikipedia. So it must have been the second time I lived in Hawaii is when Gargoyles was on TV.
Yeah, which island were you on?
Oahu.
Okay, well, there is the Gathering Island.
I lived on. Go ahead.
Were you anywhere near Hickam Air Force Base?
The first time I lived in Hawaii, I was because I lived up. There's this little army housing tract that wasn't on post; it was right off post, just down the street from the entrance to Wahiwa. So it was right next to what's that lake? Lake Wilson? Is that the lake?
I can't remember.
I think it was Lake Wilson. So I lived like right next to Lake Wilson there in army housing. That stuff is still there. Then the second time I lived in Hawaii, I lived down in what'd they call that?
Will
It was
you?
the crater. It
Yeah.
was called
Did
the
you?
crater. It was down by
Did you see?
the Navy
Did you go
base.
to see Bill Clinton when he came?
No, I don't think I went to see Bill Clinton when he came.
Did you ever go to the Popeye's Chicken on the naval base then?
The Popeyes on the naval base. Yeah, I undoubtedly went to that Popeyes. There was also on off of Schofield Barracks, out front of the PX there. There was it wasn't a Popeyes, but their chicken was just like Popeyes. It was like some no name brand,
So
like
we could
chicken
have
stand.
literally have seen each other, not even realize it.
It's entirely possible. You know, it's a small world.
Yeah, because frick, what movies were out when I trying to think why I was there exactly. I know Gargoyles was playing. Um, it was like 93, 94 ish when I was there.
Mm, I
Because
don't
remember
remember what was
also
in the theaters.
the volcano on the Big Island went off.
Yeah, Kilauea totally erupted. Actually, Kilauea erupted a couple times while I lived in Hawaii. Because it erupted in like 91, and then it erupted again a few years later, but it was a much smaller eruption the second time. Oh man, all these Comic-Con numbers from the 90s, they don't have the absolute sales numbers. They have that order index number where you got to kind of guess like how many copies of Batman were sold and then judge the number of copies that were sold of whatever other book based on that. What about late 90s? Can we go to 97? That's after the crash. Yeah, here we go. All right, this is perfect. Okay, so this should tell you kind of how comic books have fallen. Oh my God, I hate websites. Jeez, I just looking at the sales here for comic books, and it's like Batman, 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 Batman. That's pretty sad. Oh, have you ever actually looked at like comic book charts before? Because they're ridiculous. It's all Batman.
Yeah, I know.
So there's no good numbers for December 2020. Are there good numbers for April that we can compare with? Or did he just change how his page worked? No, this is... Dude, I hate your website. Oh, right, because I'm looking at the wrong thing. I need to look here. There we go. I'll pull this up on the screen in a second. Show all entries. Dude, why did you change your website so that it sucked? Why do people do that? Like, he's got a perfectly good website, and then he makes it suck.
Because they think it's making it better.
Yeah, it doesn't. He used to just, like, list out, you know, the top, like, 500 comic books that sold. And now you got to, like, actually say, hey, show me all the goods. I guess you should pick, like, top 100, but we're apparently stuck waiting now. That's probably why he changed it, is so that everybody would stop, like, scraping his site for all the information. Bro, will you load your freaking website already?
Yes. Let the hate flow through you.
Oh man, there's too much. Okay, anyway, look, here's Amazing Spider-Man #3, and we don't have sales figures. Why are there no sales figures here? This is supposed to be the sales charts. Ah. All right, let's go to 1997. So here's the thing with like comic books, right? If you go back to the 90s, and the reason why you can go to a comic book store, I should just stop sharing my screen or my camera because I'm not doing anything. You go back to like the 90s, and you're like, hey man, what's going on with like comic books? And you just got like random books you've never heard of selling like 100,000 units. It's absolutely ridiculous. I got these one books from a company called Triumphant, and their thing was that they were small print run books. Okay, small print run books because they were it says on the cover like the universe for collectors. And you'd start looking at their print runs, and it's like 40,000 units, 22,000 units. These days, 40,000 units puts you way up in the charts. It's absolutely ludicrous. Comic-Con, can I just get sales numbers? Like, where can I find sales numbers, bro? Like, that's all I want. It's all I want from you. Can I get you sales numbers from last year? You gonna give me some? Hey, here we go. All right. So let me share. So you can see what I'm sharing here. Like X-Men 62, some random issue of the X-Men. It's not like a milestone issue. Probably nothing amazing was happening, like Professor Xavier didn't get killed in it or something ridiculous. Uncanny X-Men, another X book, 180,000. Fantastic Freaking Four, a book that nobody but me likes, sold 150,000 units. Spawn, 150,000 units. Wolverine, Iron Man. Iron Man freaking selling 130,000 units. Iron Man sells like 15,000 units these days. It's absolutely ludicrous. And one reason you can find all these books in like 50-cent bins and dollar bins and stuff is because there's just a million of them laying around. Like there's just gobs of them, which is the way it's supposed to be. But if I come over here, and oh, actually, before I click away, like let's go down. Where's the 50,000 mark? We get to 50,000 units at number 50. That's kind of appropriate. So let's consider that like the bottom end here, like 50,000 units at number 50. How quickly do you want to think, or do you think that modern comic books is going to get down to 50,000 units? Like what ranking? 10th place,
Probably about
20th place?
5.
5? I might have picked a bad month when I picked this one because this is a month that a big milestone issue and Donny Cates #1 and the Star Wars #1 all came out. So that kind of lifted sales overall.
Oh yeah, we all know how that number ones get bought up.
Oh yeah, #1 sales bump. The Wonder Woman number 750. There were like 40 or 50 variant covers for that people had to collect if they wanted them all, just like Detective Comics 1000 had. Which shamefully I own multiple covers of that. Let's not speak of that ever again. But like you can see here, we're going Wonder Woman, Thor, da da da. Okay, 80,000 at number 5. Okay. Oh. And number 17 is where we hit the 50,000 mark. Just in sheer unit number, they're selling so many fewer of big books. I mean, when we're looking at the 90s, freaking Iron Man was selling like 150 or 130,000 units. Here, Iron Man 2020 #1, and I guarantee you if I pulled up the next month and the month after that, these sales dropped off like whoa, because nobody talked about Iron Man 2020. They distributed a little free promo comic and everything for it, and then nobody remembers it. I never heard a single person talk about this book, unless this is the one where Tony Stark was able to bring James Rhodes back from the death, thus defeating death forever in the Marvel Universe until they forget about it. Like, this might have been the book where he did that. I don't remember. But, like, that's the only Iron Man thing, aside from Ironheart existing, that I've heard about anybody talk about for Iron Man in I don't know how many years for the comic books. Like, nobody talks about Iron Man. Ever since Thor electrocuted him back before Siege, like, nobody remembers it. Like nobody talks about Iron Man. It's always about the Iron Man movies and never about the Iron Man comic books. It is a totally forgotten character in the comic book world, which is ludicrous because he used to front his own super team.
And then he went in, and then he ego that got the best of him.
So yeah, look at this, man. We fell off number 17 to number 18. And it doesn't take that long until you're down into stuff where books used to get canceled. Like if you go back 10 years and you had a Justice League title selling 20,000 units, it would have been canned the next month. Granted, DC did can Justice League Dark because I was literally the only person reading it. But, whatever. So, you reading anything good, Mr. Ethereal Dragon?
I need to catch up on my reading.
Oh, don't say that because I'm just going to start commiserating with you based on that. I've got like 3 stacks of comic books I need to read that are just scattered around my room in different places.
Define stacks.
If I put the stacks together, it's probably like a short box full, like 150 comics.
Oy vey.
So I got a few, and then I also got like some trades and stuff mixed in there. It's not all single issues, but I got like 5 or 6 trade paperbacks and that kind of jazz.
Mm.
So what about you? Like, it sounds like you got quite the stack. Come on, share, dish it out.
Probably about only 10, and I need to finish the what is it called? Oh fuck, what's the name of that Avatar the Last Airbender graphic novel, The Divide, the one where it's focused on the water tribe.
I have no idea what that is.
You know what? Wait, watch Avatar the Last Airbender?
Nope. All I know is there's like some nerd with an arrow on his face. And people keep telling me it's good, but I haven't watched it.
The second series, the sequel series, not so much.
Well, that is one I'm more familiar with because I can't spend a day on Twitter without somebody posting you know, characters from that who are naked and doing things. Like, it just pops up. I follow too many artists and they all draw dirty things and it's like, oh, but that's life.
Oh yeah, Korra. That bad series. It's one of those shows that started out well, but then just keeps getting worse.
That defines a lot of TV shows these days. That defines a whole lot of shows. I mean, uh,
Castlevania.
eh, I haven't watched the last season of Castlevania.
Oh, it's just garbage.
I mean, to be fair, Castlevania started out with the whole like having intercourse with sheep like soliloquy in the first episode. So we already started like pretty in a place. And what I'd watched so far, we never really left that place, but we certainly got a lot more exciting with some fun stuff. I don't know. It seems kind of weird to continue that show with Dracula dead too. Like that's another thing is that whole everything after Dracula dying just seems kind of odd to me for that reason. It's like I get it. There's other vampires in the world with their own crazy plans and crazy binding spirit crafter guys to their whim and stuff by having naughty relations with them and all that. And but it's Castlevania. It's supposed to be, man. No, Ninja Weasel. No, you are entitled to believe that, but you're wrong, Ninja Weasel.
Oh no! Don't forget his son having a three-way with twins.
I mean, look, there's a lot of people that dream about that one. Like whatever. Of course, it was kind of non-consensual, and then they tried to murder him, so it's got that going for it too. Dude, I was the only person reading Amazing Mary Jane, weren't I? I love that book. That was a great series. Look at this, sold 18,000. Back in the 90s, that book would have sold like 100,000 units. It's ridiculous. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Comic books are a big mess. And I don't know that. Now Ninja Weasel's speaking my kind of language. But see, I'm not the only person complaining about the quality of their Marvel books sucking. Like, here we go, Twitter. This dude who he got banned on his previous account. I don't even remember what his previous account was named. I guess it's probably just like Doc or something. But like, did everybody's copies of X-Men Red arrived destroyed? And that seems to be the universal experience. Like I was showing at the very start of this. Like, this is from one of the local comic shops here because they also sell books online. And there's like, hey, we can't guarantee your books are going to arrive at your door intact because Marvel's paper stock is just that bad. I don't know. I'm stuck on this one because this is one of those things that shouldn't be a problem. Like, you should never cut your, what was the phrase? You should never cut corners so much that you're shipping out a product that cannot arrive to customers intact. It almost reminds me. Do you remember the stealing Solo stuff?
Oh, the one, yeah, about how bad the art was, and they couldn't even keep the lettering in the boxes.
Oh no, I'm not even talking about that. Stealing Solo. Uh, like
About how,
yes, the art, like there were problems with the book itself as a comic book. Like I'm not going to say that there weren't, but let's see. Maybe this article's got it. Marcher's shop has been getting shorted consistently lately, mostly DC, but Marvel too. Mine too. Mine too. Oh God, look at all these ads. You can tell I don't have an ad blocker in this browser. But yeah, that stuff. But what I really want to do, here we go. This is the back cover of Stealing Solo. It was shipped naked in the mail, not even sleeved. They just printed the address on the blank back cover of the book and shipped. Yeah, March here, exactly that.
didn't they have to, didn't they send out new copies because of how bad the
Yes, as I
backlash was?
recall, Jeff Hicks paid the 10 grand out of pocket and got everybody new books. So it does kind of have a happy ending. But look at this. Nobody in their right mind would send a comic book naked through the mail. Period. Like you would at least like throw some plastic around it and then stick the label on the plastic.
Yeah, wasn't that the fault of the people that was doing the shipping or printing it or whatever?
Yeah, if I remember, the printer was like used to printing like advertisement material, where this is how you ship it. Like all those flyers and whatever random like advertisement newspapers show up in your mailbox. Like it was a company that is used to doing that kind of work, and apparently, Jeff Hicks or whoever just never bothered to tell them how to ship a comic book, which that seems kind of ridiculous. That's one thing that Brian Ball yelled at his printer for, was making sure that they actually shipped books correctly, because they were just shipping expensive one-off digitally printed comic books, which cost like $5 plus shipping.
Well, Brian is the man.
Yeah, he is, but they would just ship them in yellow like Manila envelopes and send them to you that way. I got several books from them in that kind of condition, and Antarctic Press, for that matter. I used whenever I ordered like 3 or 4 things from them before they changed their shipping practices, and it was always fun playing Antarctic Roulette. Like, if I open this, is the book going to be damaged or not? Because they just again put the book in a Manila envelope type deal and send it to you. Not even a padded envelope, not a stay flat mailer. I'm talking just like a yellow envelope sleeve, and whoosh goes to your door. Oh, I'm not showing the Twitter tab that I meant to show, but I guess you could see it on the other screen. Oh well. Yeah, that's how he got his first copy of Rags. March here. That I hope your copy of Rags arrived intact, because I know a lot of people were getting books that were in not acceptable shape, myself included, if I'm honest. I got but that book didn't come from the printer. That book came from Brian himself. He just sent me like a beat up copy for free of the first issue of Rags, because I won a raffle or like a giveaway or something. I don't even remember anymore. That was a long time ago. That was like 2018, man. That's like the genesis of all these stories. Everything going on in the comic book world seems to like have roots in what happened in 2017 and 2018. All the feuds, all the hatred, all the people disagreeing with each other, the cliques, the camps, all that kind of stuff. It really seems to have grown, at least in the modern comic book world. All the stuff going on right now really seems to have come out of that time period. It's a very
Yeah.
contentious and fractious time. I certainly made a lot of friends, and probably made a lot of enemies at the same time, because Lord knows I'm not in certain communities out there. I'm just kind of doing my own thing. Hey, there's George Alexandropoulos. I had beef with him on Twitter once upon a time, but he didn't even remember when I met him in person. So, because he had, do you remember George Alexandropoulos craziness? Were you around for that?
I'm trying to remember.
It was so I think it was Peter Simeti was like having trouble with a print or something. George Alexandropoulos was like, "Hey man, you can print your own books." Which, yeah. So I got a little beef with him. I got a video somewhere where I mock him for this. It's like, yeah, you totally can print your own books, right? Like that's not a problem if you're printing like a print run of 100 or something. That's not a big ask to be able to print that off, bind them properly, ship them, that kind of stuff. Like you can totally do small print run stuff yourself without a problem. In fact, I've been kind of thinking about getting a high end printer and just experimenting with actually doing quality print stuff because I think it might be a fun hobby to do something like that. But he's talking like commercial grade or commercial quantities, and that's what Peter Simeti was talking about. Because Peter Simeti's like, I print out 15,000 comic books a month. You got to get a printer for that. Because on a actual like offset printing machine, that's like 5 minutes. Well, that's exaggerated. It's like 5 hours of running the machine. Like it's not a big ask for them, and then they just throw everything in a box and ship it to you. Whereas printing that yourself, you're probably going to be there the entire month doing nothing but stapling that many books. Yeah, that's exactly it, March here. He was not grasping the magnitude of the problem, such as it is. Like, there's a huge difference between printing out a couple hundred things, which is what George Alexandropoulos was doing. And his books are very beautifully done up, by the way. Like, I'm not going to knock the quality of his stuff. I got like Bad Dreams #1, I think it is, somewhere around here. I got another one of his books. Mary Sue #1, I think, that I bought at Bell County Comic Con from him. And they're absolutely gorgeous objects. The books themselves, they're oversized. They're like objects to art. They're just absolutely wonderful to look at. But, I wouldn't want to print that out and bind it by hand for more than a couple hundred of those because you would do nothing else. You certainly wouldn't have time to do art like he does because he draws all kinds of ridiculous things, which make people very, very angry, which I find very funny. Oh, God, this one. Did you see this comic yet?
Wait, which one?
The one I'm showing on screen now. George's latest strip. Well, you have now, and you'll never unsee it again. It's burned in your retinas. We're probably getting kicked off of YouTube for showing this one, by the way. If the stream suddenly drops dead, that means the YouTube censors will have caught up to me, and we're done. We're out of here. Life is over. But he's got a lot of really funny strips that are, just shit posts or whatever, and they make some people very angry.
Because because let's face it, it shows some bad people on the left.
There's a lot of bad, crazy people out there, yeah. And some people are more rabidly against people being able to make stupid cartoons like that, which is kind of silly. As George, or most artists, I guess, really, at least most classically trained artists, ones who are not just in it to make money or whatever. It's like the purpose of art is to provoke a little bit, to be a little bit controversial, to get people thinking and talking about stuff. And George certainly does that with his work. He seemed like a pretty nice guy when I met him in person, though, because I talked to him for like 5 or 10 minutes. Alejandro was pretty nice, too. But, man, I could not get away from Tim Lim without that man giving me something. Like, he was just, like, looking around his booth, like, what can I give? What can I give him? What can I give him?
Oh, you poor boy. You get to meet Tim Lim and get free things from him.
Well, I didn't show up at Bell County Comic Con for free stuff. I showed up to say hi to those guys and get them to sign a thing or two. And Tim gave me this. Let me make a little room here. Gave me this water bottle, which was made by some artist who had a booth down at the other end of the convention. I've never used the water bottle. I just keep it on top of my desk here. It's like my desk is like there's a desk and then there's like space up and then like cabinets and stuff, and I keep it up on top of all that. So I got Usagi here, USAGI. He's always like looking down on me, making sure I'm okay. It's a really nice little bottle though. I like it. So he gave me that, and let's see, I got him and Mark to sign stuff, and then I went to get my punchline signed because Matt Weldon was sitting there. Was it the trade? It might have been my punchline trade. Let me see. No, it wasn't the trade. It must have been a single issue of Punchline. I will never find it then. But I went to get Punchline signed because, Matt Weldon is just sitting right there, the human printing machine. I've never seen somebody just take a pen, like in person. I've seen it on the internet, but I've never seen somebody just take like an ink pen and produce a completed, finished picture with nothing else going on. Just that one ink pen just going like a freaking dot matrix printer. It's ridiculous. Oh, man. Yeah, they're pretty good guys. If you can make it down to Bell County Comic Con this year, I know they're going to be there for sure because all the I just forgot the name of their company. All those guys are going to be there.
Iconic?
Iconic, thank you. I almost said Allegiance Arts, and then I went, no, that's Mitch Breitweiser. I better not say that. I'll have people like hounding me for life. Speaking of Mitch, I don't even know what he's up to these days. Like, is Red Rooster #4 ever coming out? You got any idea? Like, I have not followed the Mitch in a long time. The only book I know that they have coming out off the top of my head is I know there's like another 2 issues of Nora's Saga in the works, and I only know that because I really like the artist. Kelsey can just draw things for me for the rest of my life, and I would be a very happy person. Like you don't need to feed me any other entertainment, just Kelsey Shannon artwork, like one panel a day, and I would be a contented person.
Wait, did you say Red Rooster 4?
Yeah, supposedly, like there's supposed to be more Red Rooster.
Did it? How long did it take them to come out the first one?
Oh, dude, let me open my spreadsheet.
Wasn't it like 2 years?
Yes.
And then they screwed us over by putting it at Walmart first.
I don't even care about that part. Like, a lot of people get hung up on that, and I don't really care about getting it being in Walmart before I have a physical copy. Because the copy I got, it's actually a really nice looking book. I really like it. But yeah, let's see. I got a spreadsheet here where I used to keep all this crowdfund stuff. I need to actually update it. I haven't updated it in a couple of months for stuff that's come in. Let's see. Oh, there's Nina and Ariel, which Brian Ball's still waiting on. Hi, Brian. If you're out there, I'm mocking you for backing Nina and Ariel because the additional 8 pages have taken over 2 years to get produced for your version, whereas I got my version like up like 3 months after I paid for it.
Oh yeah, have you been seeing your boy Zach's stupidity?
Oh, I have not seen it directly, but I've seen it indirectly. Like he's got beef with Mark Pellegrini, Tim, and Doug Ernst because Doug was like, hey, one of our selling points is we ship our books on time. And he took that personally. It's like the Danny DeVito meme, you know? What era is this? This is we're just rambling all over the place, Mr. Manny Shape. By the way, his book is, the latest issue is on Kickstarter. I haven't backed it yet, but let me go find that and drop the link in the chat because Manny is a really cool dude. He delivers, for starters. That's something that many people can't actually say with their products. Dude, your book's already funded? Bro, that's wild. Hold on, I'm going to pull this up on screen. Everybody should check this out. Like, I am 100% on board with the El Crudo. Yes, we are right now after Red Rooster ships, but we were just talking about Red Rooster because I think I saw Mitch Brightweiser say there's like more issues coming out, but then I haven't heard anything since. So whatever. Have you seen this book, Ethereal Dragon?
No.
Oh, this is worth checking out on the El Crudo website. First chapter is up for free, and I don't remember if the website's El Crudo. Oh, it is elcrudo.com. Let me drop that in the chat too. You can check out like the first chapter of the book for free here, and you will never read another comic book quite like it. It's not the first book or the only book to have apes in Vietnam, because there literally was gorillas from Oni Press like 10, 12 years ago that kind of covered similar topics because it was apes in Vietnam. But El Crudo is pretty unique in its style and execution. It has an attitude that I don't think has been matched in many other comic books I've ever read. And there was a scene in here I like actually sat down to do a breakdown on like to make sure all the angles were correct and stuff, because I'm like that room doesn't seem right to me, and then I started breaking it down, and no, the geometry all like actually worked out. The artist on the first, either the first or second issue, whichever one that was in, actually like plotted all this stuff out and like figured out all the layouts and stuff. His name was Zeros, I think. He's really cool. There's a new artist for issue 5, but Crudo's definitely pretty cool. You should go check this out and see if it's to your liking, man, because it's pretty dope. Dude, I got to go back it still. I apologize that I haven't done it yet. I've been like planning to sit down and just go through Kickstarter and Indiegogo and back all the interesting things, and then I keep getting distracted by work, which has been pretty brutal this past week. Not gonna lie. But Manny Shape is a pretty cool dude. I think he even sent me the like first issue of El Crudo for free. Like I think he like just sent it to me, and then he sent me like a replacement because the free review copy that he sent me was like dinged in one corner or something. So he just sent me like a whole nother book. He's an absolute madman. I love this guy. He doesn't get talked about. His book doesn't get talked about as much as it should. It's definitely a cool book. So if you're out there, go check it out. Like, I love this thing. And you just mentioned Jack Irons. That's another book I did back that one. Is that one on Indiegogo, right? If I chuck this in, yeah, so that one's on Indiegogo. Let's pop over there. Oh, it's even in my history, probably from when I had Cody on stream or something, and I did an interview with him. Have you read any of the Jack Irons stuff, Mr. Dragon?
No, I think once I backed something, but it didn't get funded. Like I think it was a collection of the various ones.
Oh yeah, he did like an omnibus of the first 3 issues or something. I don't know if that campaign succeeded or failed. I guess it must have failed based on what you're saying.
Yeah.
Let's see. Can we pull that up? But I did go ahead and back this one because I dig Jack Irons a lot. It's not the book I was expecting. You can tell I use Indiegogo a lot. I'm like looking around here to find stuff. Oh, I don't even see it unless it was part of this campaign. Anyway, I do know he had a failed campaign somewhere. It might have been the Kickstarter that failed. Yeah, it was probably the Kickstarter that failed because he ran 1 or 2 of these on Kickstarter. But Cody is pretty cool dude, and there's some cool stuff in all these books. The second issue is kind of it's like you're sitting down to read an RPG source book and not a comic book, but it's still in comic book form, if that makes any sense. Yeah, I hope he gets this book funded, my dude. There's some cool stuff. There's one panel in particular I thought was pretty cool. Yeah, it's this one right here. Like, I thought this was pretty cool. This big giant dude gonna fight our little cowboy. You can see like the power differential between them based on the fact that this dude is gigantic and all that. Good choice of camera angle. Pretty classic stuff. He's got to put his hat on, of course, because he's a cowboy. the direction the story's going in is less weird space western, which is what it was sold as originally, and now it's kind of doing its own other thing. But there's nothing else like it out there in the comic book world that I've seen. You know, it definitely harkens back to classic science fiction comic books. Yeah, I'm not gonna like compare it to like something that Jean Girard did or anything like that, but like it's more in that vein than most contemporary comic books are, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
It's definitely pretty cool. It's definitely worth like going over to the page and seeing if you dig it or not. Are there any campaigns you like? Something I can look up and show off?
I think we follow the same people. Vestry.
Vesture, is that on Kickstarter or Indiegogo?
Let me check.
All right, let me go to I'll go to Kickstarter another window and just search for Vestry. There's too many comic book creators out there. I follow a lot of them. And here's Vestry number 2 by Anvil Comics. Funding unsuccessful. That's on Kickstarter. Did they have a successful Indiegogo?
I think so.
I've definitely seen the art for this series before, but I didn't even know there were campaigns for this. Oh yeah, here we go. Here's Vestry number 4. Let me share this tab. No, Manny, I did not. I didn't even go to my comic book store. I had nothing in my pull box to get this week. So that's why the title of this stream has something about clickbait in it, because I got nothing to show. Like, I didn't buy anything. All the books I have to read are ones I already owned. I didn't even know that they had crowdfunds for this, dude. I've just seen like the art from this all over Twitter. Like, I've definitely seen all this stuff before. I don't know what that says about
I guess
me.
I guess you follow Shabby then.
If not, I follow somebody that retweets them. That's how I see a lot of stuff. Is I'll think I'm following somebody, and then it turns out I'm not following them. They just get retweeted by everybody I know, so it feels like I'm following them. Oh man. There's one guy on Twitter that I like him and I like his stuff, but man, he shows it every freaking day. Yeah, here we go. This dude here. Have you seen him on Twitter? Point Man Comics? I don't know what his real name is.
Yeah.
It's hard to like not see it because every day he's like tweeting like the same 20 images every day or something. And I feel like I've read the entire book just based on the fact that he's showing the same promotional images all the time.
I'm pretty sure I'm neutrals with that guy still.
Do what?
I said I'm pretty sure I'm neutrals.
Yeah. If I was on my regular Twitter account, like I follow him and he follows me, but he'll like complain that nobody's like retweeting his stuff or interacting with it. It's like, I've already seen this many times, dude. If I started just hitting like every time I saw your stuff, that would totally ruin the Twitter experience for people who are following me, because they would just see Eliza Bar liked this, Eliza Bar liked this, Eliza Bar retweeted this. And I want people to have a little variety in what they see on my account. Although don't pull up my account like if you're on a live stream, because I've like retweeted a couple of naughty things in the last couple of weeks. So, you may need to cover your eyes if you visit my Twitter account right now. And I apologize for that, because I usually don't do that, but it was to try to win giveaways. So I'm like, yeah, I want free art. I will take the risk. Oh, man. We probably do follow most of the same people, though, don't we?
Let's see. Brian, Luigi. Who else? The Mythivores.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you mentioned the Mythiverse, because I'm really kind of upset. I was going to talk about this last week, and then I didn't actually get to it. Let's see. No. Dang it! Why wouldn't you have this on the Adobe Kroger Twitter page? Anyway, issue 3 of Adobe Kroger is not happening. Dan Satchero like canceled that, and I'm kind of like really grumpy about that. See if I can find that announcement. That was just a couple days ago.
Oh, did he say why?
He had too much going on, and he had to dial stuff back.
So it has nothing to do with the paper shortage.
No, I don't think so. Dan's Twitter page is just, I pulled it up here on my window where you can't see, but the only thing on it's like 2018 stuff. It's kind of weird. Maybe it's not the right Dan Satchero. I mean, it's got his art from Molly Beans and stuff. Have you read his webcomic?
No, I haven't read his webcomic.
Molly Beans was pretty good. I read son of a gun. Oh, apparently he has like 2 Twitter accounts. Okay. That's not confusing, Dan. Here is... Well, now I can't find it. I would have sworn that he had a thing where he said he was canceling it because he was refunding the people that got drawn or that had paid in the campaign for number 2 to get drawn into issue number 3, and he was refunding them. And now I can't find it on his Twitter. Don't tell me that was an April Fool's joke and I bought it. I'm going to be really upset if that's the case.
Maybe it was.
Oh, no, here it is, March 28th. Hold on, let me share this. So yeah, there's somewhere else he says he's refunding the backers that had backed the issue 3 stuff with the issue 2 campaign. So this has got me kind of bummed out because out of the Mythoverse books, Adobe Kroger was my favorite by far. Like don't get me wrong. Maeve is cute and all, and I'm interested to see where Changeling goes.
Oh, you just like her mom.
Yeah, everybody likes Maeve's mom. That's why Brett's going to kill her.
Yes, but still, they're not the best character.
Yeah. And then, what was the other book? Mythics? Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mythics has some interesting ideas, but the execution kind of let me down. I tore issue 1 apart a little bit when I was doing a review of it. I'm like, why would you draw this panel like this? You should do this. I'm like, I'm not even an artist, and I know this stuff. I did that to some...
that Gavin's the best character.
Yeah. I did that kind of thing to some random indie horror book I bought back in 2018. I don't remember the name of it. It had a deer skull on the cover, and it was like a killer in the woods or whatever was the theme. And I just started I took 1 page and I just started ripping the page apart. Like, look, instead of drawing the panels this way, you should have made it 1 panel that looked like this and then indicated things like this and this and this and this. And then a year later, the artist from that book somehow found the video and was like, hey, those are some good ideas. Thanks, bro. It's that is the weirdest thing. You didn't find this when you were... Oh, it was Wendigo Woods. That was the name of the book, if I remember right. Wendigo Woods. It was a Kickstarter. Oh, man. Good times. But yeah, this has got me kind of bummed. I was really looking forward to another issue of Adobe Kroger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, here's my response. Look, this is me. As soon as I read it, I knew exactly the reaction gift to use. This is just... You can't do this to me. So yeah, apparently this was not an April Fool's joke because it was not posted on April Fool's. So...
maybe we solved it once things slow down.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping is 6 months from now or something, he comes back and he's like, hey, let's do the thing. Are you interested in Tonic Mole and Monk's Patreon? If I wasn't intentionally limiting my Patreonage, I probably would go follow a bunch of more Patreons, including that one.
What are my Patreons? I feel like I'm forgetting one. I'm on Lowbrow Studios. And Namco.
The only one I actually back, or patronize, or whatever the right word is the Namco one. There's several others I follow, so I can get emailed when they have free updates or whatever, just because I want to know what some of those people are working on. Like John Rhodes has one, which I don't think he updates that often anymore, but I could like his artwork from when he did stuff on Fox and Hound. Um, so I like follow his, and I follow a couple other ones, and I see email updates from him every now and then. But I only pay for one because I that was a choice I made back in 2018. Is I would only ever back one Patreon at a time, and that was just because I knew if I didn't limit myself, I would end up spending like $500 a month on Patreon, and I could not afford that. So it was a way to stem off my addiction while still being plugged into the whole rags thing. Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, because Lowbrow Studios is all the people that do Sonic Ohio.
Ah, okay. Can we pull up their Patreon? Is this going to be like not safe for work if we do?
Oh, it should be fine.
Yeah, I guess that's fine enough. Like we're totally cutting off the Ghibli bits here. So let's just click over. But yeah, they just started this up like 2 weeks ago or something. So they got 22 patrons already. I hope these guys make some money and make some cool stuff. Monk is a pretty cool dude. Do you know the uh, like story I have with Monk?
No.
No. So I backed his Kickstarter or Indiegogo or whatever it was for that witches art book thing, and it gets here right, and I'm like, I unbox it on, I do it on a video, and I'm flipping through it, and then randomly there's just a bunch of pages that it's like I don't know how to describe it. The damage is kind of inexplicable. It's like somehow somewhere in between you took a box cutter to the pages and you crimped the pages. And there's just a whole bunch of them that are like that. They've got this gouge on it, which this is the heaviest paper stock in the world. Later, dude. Oh, hey, goodbye, Manny Shape. You have a good one, dude. Hope you make a bunch of money. So the pages are all damaged. I'm like, hey, Monk, like, this is weird and crazy. You should probably check the other books you're shipping out if you haven't already, and maybe start talking to your printer about replacements. Like, I wasn't actually asking for another book because I don't really care that much. But out of nowhere, Monk sends me a new book, and not only does he send me a new book. Hold on, I got the other thing handy. The damaged book I don't have handy. I think that's down in my basement, stored away somewhere. I'm going to give it away one day to somebody. But he just, when he sent me the replacement book, he just included randomly a piece of art. Like, here's just a little piece of original art for you, buddy.
Nice.
Yeah, like this was like, okay, the book is one thing, right? Like, okay, yeah, he's going to replace the book. That's what you do if you're a good business person. But they just threw in, this nice little piece of art here. And so I went into the dollar store and I bought a cheap dollar frame to protect it with. But yeah, he just totally like sent that out of the blue. So, I have nothing but respect and well wishes for Mr. Illustrator Monk. Tonic Mole, on the other hand, I like him, but at the same time, he rubs me the wrong way sometimes too. Like way more than Brian does. And I don't know that I can tell you why he does. He'll just tweet something and it just grates on me a little bit. And then he'll tweet something else and I'm like, this is a really cool dude. So I don't know. It's like hot and cold running water going on there. But it is what it is. You can't you can't like everybody all the time. If you did, then you probably didn't actually like anybody any of the time. Do you got cool stories to share?
Any other comics I like, or what?
Yeah, like any interesting creator stories or stories about like anything relevant to this material.
Not really.
You meet anybody cool at a convention or anything like that?
Oh, those things are too expensive. Or at least all the ones I want to go to.
You should find local conventions. There's usually a ton around. Like this weekend, in fact, I'm going to be going to a little small local convention. It's actually over in the mall on the other side of town. Admission's free. They took over an old department store space that's empty to put their convention in. So I'm going to go over there and I'll probably see some people I meet at some of the other conventions that are local around here. But you meet some interesting people. I met Frank Fosco and bought a really nice piece of original art from a Superman comic off of him at Mighty Con, which I didn't go to the one this year because I didn't even know they were having it this year. But that's the Mighty Con puts on like 4 events a year in different cities around the place. So you can probably find like some small convention that costs like $10 to get in or something in your neighborhood. I guess I don't actually know where you live. So if you live way out in the country, that's maybe not practical. But if you live in any moderately sized city or near one, you can probably find like some little dinky comic book convention in your neighborhood to visit. And you'd be surprised who shows up to those things. The artist for oh gosh, I remember the name of the book now. It was some indie book I was reading like 3 years ago from bro, I don't even remember the name of the publisher. Not Dynamite. Anyway, I guess it doesn't really matter, but like he was totally there. I guess he lives up here. And so I just like popped in and got him to sign one of the books while I was walking through. It was really cool. People are, I think smaller conventions, the people are pretty nice. Bell County Comic Con, when I went there, man, that was like an overwhelming mess. There was a few too many people there, and I was definitely not comfortable most of that day when I was actually on the premises. Plus, I was also really out of it because I had, just driven 16 hours to get there. So I left work and started driving immediately to get there the next morning. Not my best decision, but I didn't have the ability to get like that Friday off to go down there. And I was in like a very apocalyptic mood anyway at that time. Last year was not a happy time for me.
Yeah, I imagine for a lot of people it wasn't.
Yeah. Somebody decided to make last year suck for a lot of people, and I don't know why they did it. At least for me right now, this year has been going a lot better. Like I said earlier, something like work has been really rough the last couple of weeks. And while that is a true statement, I think I've been taking it in much better stride than I would have taken this week last year. It's like one of the things I've been working on. This is going to sound really stupid. Like I don't know what kind of religiosity you have, but like when I'm driving into work, I just say a little prayer like, Lord, give me patience. We got to get some stuff done today. So give me the patience to get through it all. And it's been working. Like whether you believe, like the prayer is being answered or, you just think I'm like psyching myself up or whatever, what I'm doing is actually working really well. And it is giving me some patience because the last Friday, Monday, and Tuesday, I basically had, an inferno raging that I had to put out. And it was a very stressful time. And I think I handled it pretty well because I don't remember getting very upset. And so, yeah, that kind of, that seems to be working for me. So I'm going to keep doing that. And Ninja Weasel, he takes it to the logical extension because if you give me strength, you'll also need to give me bell money. Yeah, I would need a lot of bell money if I acted on some of them impulses. But yeah, Mr. Ethereal Dragon, wherever you live, just check out your local scene, man.
Western New York.
Oh, yeah, you should have a ton of conventions up in New York. Like when you say New York, do you mean New York State or New York City? Because New Yorkers are very particular. The ones from New York City will say something like Western New York when they mean Hell's Kitchen sometimes. And it's like that's just part of New York City to me. But to them, it's a big geographical difference.
No, I'm closer to Buffalo and Niagara Falls than
Oh, there
that
are
area.
definitely some conventions out that way, like for sure. Buffalo's a big enough town. It's like it's kind of like Madison size, maybe a little smaller or a little bigger. But like if we can support some random dinky conventions up there or up here, you can probably support some random dinky conventions in that neighborhood. You should check them out. Uh, I think the small convention thing is fun because you can pop in, hang out for like an hour or two, and then get out of there. And you probably paid $5 to get in, so you're not feeling like you just wasted your $100 day pass.
Now, the last time I went to, I think, was something involving UB. I think it was like a gaming thing.
Hmm. Yeah,
Although
there's a
that
lot
was a
of
while
gaming
ago.
conventions and stuff too. I'm not plugged into that at all. Uh, Actually,
No, we need to
comic
get you to
shows tend
become
to have
a
gaming too.
tabletop gamer then.
Hmm. That's pretty cool. All right, we've been going for like an hour, and I can feel I'm starting to lose my voice, my dude. So I think we should probably wrap up here before I actually do lose my voice. Dude, this morning, or not, I'm sorry, not this morning, yesterday morning, I was on the phone so much, I did start losing my voice in the middle of talking to my customers. It was pretty brutal. And there's nothing you can do because you got to keep talking. So thanks for popping in. I'm glad somebody finally took the freaking StreamYard link off of my Discord and joined. So that was really cool of you. I was expecting to have to sit here and talk for an hour all by myself, but having you around meant we got to have a nice rambling conversation. I think I talked way more than you did, but it's my show, so I'm entitled.
Yes, it is.
But thank you for popping in. I wasn't expecting that. Ninja Weasel, El Crudo, March Hare, and I'm probably forgetting somebody that was talking earlier. Thank you all for popping in and hanging out with me. If you're still hanging out here at this point and you have not yet hit that like button, go ahead and do that. They tell me I'm supposed to say things like that to remind people that they actually need to do those things because apparently people forget to do that. Even though that's the first thing I do when I open up a video is I just instinctively click that like button, just drop the
Well,
like.
they want to talk to you. They should come onto your Discord then.
Yeah, like pop on my Discord. When I do these streams, if I want to chat with people, I will usually drop the little StreamYard link on my Discord server, and you can just pop in and chat with me while we're doing this. It'll be a good time, and hopefully, next week I'll have actual comic books to show instead of a stack of notebooks taking up the same space because I'm trying to clean my office and it's not working. I have nowhere to put anything. It sucks. But that's neither here nor there. I'm gonna go ahead and end the broadcast, and let's get out of here. Anything you want to say to as we depart?
No, just good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. That's a good thing to end on. Take care, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.